Hey Querios, today I'm going to be talking about the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Iceberg. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with what a conspiracy iceberg is, but in case you aren't, I'll give you a quick rundown. It's an image consisting of several theories or common fandom memes related to a piece of media or any subject, starting with the well-known ones at the top and the lesser-known ones at the bottom. And today, well, I'm going to be looking at the MLP version of it. Now, honestly, this iceberg doesn't have a lot of content to it, and some of this is pretty obscure, at least to me. So sometimes I'm gonna put up a warning that says when I'm starting to talk out of my ass. Because honestly, I had to dig pretty deep for some of these. I really didn't know much about them. Well, alright, let's begin. Rick and Morty cameo. In the episode Granny's Gone Wild... That's an awful title. In the episode, a pony duo that resembles Rick and Morty appears in the background of one scene. Surprise! So the basis of Pinkie Pie is a G3 yellow-maned white Pegasus. I see the resemblance. I don't see the resemblance at all. But eventually we ended up with the Pinkie Pie we all know and love. Fucking somehow. Applejack's parents. For those of you who aren't all caught up, Applejack lives on Sweet Apple Acres with her family, and they hold reunions every 100 moons? I don't understand how moons work, but whatever, let's continue. You'll notice that her parents never actually show up at any of these reunions. Well, that is because her parents, Bright Mac and Pear Butter, died a while back, probably while she was old enough to remember it. My Little Pony, ladies and gentlemen. Also in the episode A Royal Problem, you can see someone from the Apple family dreaming about Applejack being born and being held by Mom and Dad. It's a very interesting little lore bit to analyze, and it brought us a pretty amazing episode that I would highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. Or if you have, because honestly it's great, give it a rewatch. Pink-haired Celestia. In the pilot, Celestia appears in a book as a pink-haired pony, but present-day Celestia has sparkly cyan, lime, and bright pink hair. According to the comics, however, she had pink hair when she was younger. Twilight Twinkle. The show's main character, Twilight Sparkle, had many base characters from previous My Little Pony generations, including Twilight, Princess Sparkle, and the one we're going to be discussing now, an Earth pony from the 80s named Twilight Twinkle. Twilight is referred to as Twilight Twinkle in the episode Amending Fences.
Look, Twilight Twinkle, Sparkle, whatever.
Saddle Row Review Pinkie Clone. In the episode The Saddle Row Review, each character gives an interview on the grand opening of Rarity's Manhattan boutique. During one of Pinkie Pie's interviews, the topic of cloning comes up. If you remember, Pinkie Pie cloned herself in the Season 3 episode Too Many Pinkie Pies. While Pinkie is talking about how hell it is to have clones, she eats her lunch and reveals a clone sitting behind. About that Season 3 episode, all of Pinkie Pie's clones were violently murdered by Twilight and sent back to the cloning pond where they came from. It is assumed that this bitch right here was the one clone that got away. So yeah, interesting stuff, but we must dig a little deeper. Twilight's Ice Park. In Friendship is Magic Part 2, when Twilight realizes that Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Rarity and Fluttershy are her friends, her eye sparks and makes a, well, sparkling noise. What's the theory? We'll explain it later. Daybreaker Journal Entry. When Princess Celestia's heart is corrupted, in a similar vein to Princess Luna turning into Nightmare Moon, she turns into Daybreaker. And apparently a journal entry about it exists somewhere? Maybe she's alluded to in the Journal of the Two Sisters? I don't own the book, and apparently it's a published version of an in-universe diary. It sounds pretty cool, and if you own the book or know anything about this theory, please comment about it. Trans Trixie Theory. The great and powerful Trixie Lulamoon being transgender is a common gag in the fandom. I think it's spawned from the Faust herself saying that at least one character from Season 1 is trans. That and Trans Trixie just has a ring to it. Kylum. I don't know what this means. Hey, I'm literally editing the video right now, and I'm using my, laptop mic, so if I sound like garbage, that's why. But, I'm literally editing the video, and I'm curious, what is this Calum thing? And I look it up, and apparently it's just a fanfiction about artificial intelligence. It's called Friendship is Optimal Kylumist Continence, or however you pronounce that. It basically means friendship is magic, heaven is terrifying.
and it's about like a middle-aged woman who like is enamored by Equestria, and like I don't know. I haven't read it, and I'm not reading all of it because I don't feel like it. But yeah. Now I know what it means. Um, yeah. Um, be gay, do crime.
First natural born alicorn. So in this horrible abomination is born. You'll notice that the little monster here has a horn and wings, while all the other winged unicorns, or alicorns, had to earn their alicornship. According to Princess Celestia,
The birth of an alicorn is something Equestria has never seen.
and apparently according to Princess Luna,
It is beyond even our understanding.
which is just a cheap way of having to avoid explaining what happened here. This led the fandom to speculate on what it means to be an alicorn, and how one becomes an alicorn. I recommend these videos by Sawtooth Waves.
They come. The baby of Cadence is the first that born.
So yeah, now we're getting somewhere, but we're reaching the third layer. Eclipse movie. I have no idea what this means. There's a pretty mysterious character named Eclipse in the show, and he's mysterious because apparently he was misidentified by the wiki, but I can't find anything about a movie. Seventh element of harmony. There are 6 known elements of harmony
Generous honesty, laughter, kindness, loyalty.
in magic. But according to a fandom theory, a 7th element exists. People speculate that Spike or Sunset Shimmer represent it. Alright, pay attention, this gets pretty deep. In the already mentioned Friendship is Magic Part 2, the friends enter a castle that's supposed to contain elements of harmony, but the 6th one was supposed to be revealed by the already mentioned Spark. Yeah, we're going back to that theory. Now, the 6th one was supposed to be revealed later, as I just said, but the friends already find 6 elements when they enter the castle. 7th element? Possibly, because we see one of these balls in the episode Secret in Access, being held by none other than the 7th main character, Spike. But this is just a theory, and as far as I know, this was never confirmed. Speaking of the elements, Sunset's demon form is inside the element of harmony. In the climax of the Equestria Girls movie, Sunset Shimmer puts on the crown which contains the element of magic, which turns her into a demon. Now, Equestria Girls does a bad job at explaining everything, but I think this theory is saying that the element of magic is meant to react like this to anyone who's not supposed to wear the crown. Maybe the magic inside of it detects who's impure of heart or something. The element is shown to have some sentience, protecting Twilight from Sunny's sorcery, so who knows. Daybreaker and Nightmare Moon are the original selves. Pretty self-explanatory. This says that Princess Luna and Celestia are actually their inner demons, possibly saying that they suppress these parts of themselves? I don't really believe this one. Tenacious D Dazzling's audition tapes. I have no clue what this means, and looking it up, as you could expect, brought me nowhere. Now we're at the very bottom of the iceberg itself. The Starlight Nutcracker. I found a PMV of Starlight Glimmer and their Nutcracker, and the only other Nutcracker related MLP thing I found was the Season 5 teaser, but it's not about Starlight, and I don't know what this means. Rollercoaster of Friendship original drafts. Do not research. This was just added for the spoops, similar to the 1997 build of Mario 64. Let's go ahead. Sunrise Shimmer. Also don't know what this is. Lightning Dust is based on a real incident. I'm assuming this is referring to the Washouts episode. At the end of the episode, Lightning Dust gets pulled away with a rocket thing. We never see her again, and it's assumed that she died. My Little Pony. The Iceberg says that this could have been based on an actual tragedy. I'm too scared to look this one up. But like, how could I? How do you describe what's happening here? Friendship is Magic, cutie mark stencils, trademark, in parentheses, recalled. I also don't know what this means, so let's move on to the darkest layer. Hasbro Hotel Fluttershy Room. So the closest thing related to this I could find was an Equestria Daily article that showcases this image from the New York Toy Fair of what appears to be a Hasbro-themed hotel, and there's an MLP room at the bottom left. What this has to do with Fluttershy or if this hotel ever existed, I know not. Inky never cloned herself. Go off, Chow. Derpy was intentional all along. So this says that in this scene of the pilot, the Dirt Pies pony was intentionally put there, and they got lucky when the character started picking up a following, and they planned on getting Soccer Mom's outrage when she first spoke. I guess as a publicity stunt. Sergeant Sprinkles was Larson. So this series states that Sergeant Sprinkles, aka the writer of the Cupcakes creepypasta, that was a mouthful, was the writer M.A. Larson, which, dude, I've heard of stab venting, but this is ridiculous. Celestia should have died in Season 2. I could find nothing backing this up, but it's pretty self-explanatory. At some point in Season 2, Princess Celestia was supposed to die. I doubt they'd have gone through with this. And now we're at the very end. Starlight is a metaphor for capitalism. I mean, it's not a theory, it's just true. Pony Life lead poisonings. So I'm yet to actually watch Pony Life, but I know the main premise of the series is potions. Mysterious, magical potions. Magical mystery potions. And maybe there's an episode or one could assume that could have been like an allegory for lead poisoning. Or maybe all the main characters died of lead poisoning and Potion was like an angel. Or just something added for spookums. Hidden lyras. This could be referring to literal hidden lyre instruments. Or it could be referring to lyra heartstrings, aka Colgate, being hidden in some scenes. Lyra started as one of the abandoned Canterlot characters, but she appeared in every city and apparently moved to Ponyville. Lauren Faust bought Hasbro in Hasbro? Lauren Faust bought Hasbro... See, there I go. It's the Faust. It's the Faust for me. Lauren Faust bought Hasbro in 2008. All that build up for this. Generation 5 is real life, so there could be ponies hidden amongst us. Living through G5 adventures, casting magical spells, battling mysterious monsters. Unbeknownst to us. Just a faraway land of magical ponies. Going on adventures some of us could only dream of seeing. Battling monsters we wish were real. Casting spells we wish we wish we could have. Just kidding, G5's getting a movie, thanks for watching. Wow, looks like you made it to the end of the video, which I'm doing unscripted because, like, this isn't important in the slightest. I hope you enjoyed. This Iceberg really wasn't that fun. It was fun writing for the ones that I knew, but like researching some of the really obscure stuff that's at least obscure to me, wasn't that fun, if I'm being real. I don't know, maybe you and like knew some of these and you can enlighten me on what some of these mean. Or you can make your own video, but yeah, I do have plans to cover more Friendship is Magic stuff. I do plan on, like, starting, like, reviewing the show and the episodes and the movies. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Be gay, do crime. Thank you for watching.